Hello and welcome to day 2 of Ditch the Sugar. I want to start by apologizing. Our original workshop, I forgot to press record. So I'm going to give you a highlights video because I want to make sure that you guys all get the information that we spoke about. The only real difference is that there's not going to be much any interaction. It's just going to be me talking and sharing my screen. But I hope you get a lot of valuable information from this workshop. It was super fun, and we had a really good time recording it because there were so many questions, and we actually talked about so many different things. And I'm going to try to include some of that in this video. But without further ado, this workshop was on day number 2, and it was all about reading labels and spotting hidden sugars. And so let's get started with that. The first thing I did do was I spoke about what we discussed in workshop 1. So we did a little recap. And if you didn't watch the recording from video 1, please make sure you do that. We had Morgan on with us, and she did an incredible exercise with us on how to interrupt our cravings. So that was really fun. So make sure that you go back and watch the first video so that you can watch Morgan's exercise and you can follow along also. We also talked about how sugar affected our energy, mood, and overall health. And we also discussed strategies on how to overcome sugar. We created a vision board, which was also so much fun. And we had a couple of people that shared it on our Facebook page. So you can go back and go through our Facebook page so you can see some of the boards that were done. Some people had already done a vision board for the year, so they didn't redo it, but they did share during the workshop, which was really nice. And then today we are starting with reading food labels. And so learning to read food labels is the most important step in cutting out the sugar, because if we don't know what we're putting into our body, then how are we going to stop consuming what we need to, right? Because we don't know that we're actually consuming it. So understanding the nutritional label is super important. Sugar goes by many, many, many names. Okay, the food industry keeps adding because they are, they want us to consume it. And some of them are just, they're long or they're words that we're not familiar with. And so if we don't know, we can't stop it. So some of them are sucrose, fructose, of course, glucose, there's maltose. The number one culprit, which please, if you ever are purchasing something and you see this ingredient in it, please, please, please put it back. It's high fructose corn syrup. You do not want to consume that. I mean, you really don't want to consume any of these other sugars, but high fructose corn syrup is really bad for our metabolism. So that's something you really, really want to avoid. Of course, there's cane sugar, there's evaporated cane juice, there's agave nectar, which years ago, that was a big thing. The food industry was teaching consumers that agave nectar was actually a good sweetener, and it's actually not. So you want to stay away from that. Molasses, brown rice syrup, and the list does go on. And I am going to be putting out something that is going to give you a bunch of the different names for sugar so that you can carry it with you. You'll be able to stick it in your wallet or your bag. So when you're going shopping, if you're not sure, you can just pull it out, look real quick. It'll be alphabetical order, really easy to use so that you can have it and you can always refer back to it whenever you need to. So just be on the lookout for that. Another thing I wanted to share is we need to know how much sugar is really being put into that product. So they use grams, so it'll say, 1 gram or 22 grams of sugar. Just remember this, 4 grams of sugar is 1 teaspoon. Okay, 4 grams of sugar is 1 teaspoon. So we should not be consuming, especially when we're trying to heal our body, we shouldn't be consuming more than 1 or 2 teaspoons a day if we're trying to heal our body. So just keep that in the back of your mind. And then the other thing is that the ingredients are listed in descending order by weight. So the first item in the ingredient list is going to be what's the most. That's what that item has the most of. So if sugar or one of its aliases is the first, let's say 3 ingredients, it's likely that that item is going to be full of sugar. It's like a sugar loaded product. Okay, so keep those things in mind. I want to share my screen with you because I want to look at a couple of staples that a lot of us grew up with in our home, so we can see, let's see, so that we can see what's really happening and what we are really consuming. Let's share my screen. Okay, give me one sec. First I gotta find it. And I can't move this, so let's see. Okay. All right, so the first one is Aunt Jemima pancake syrup. That is something all of us had in our home. Here we go. Share. Okay. So here it is, okay? Aunt Jemima original syrup. Here is the nutritional facts. So this is one of the things that you just gotta love about them. They want everyone to believe that calories are important, but keep in mind, and I posted this recently, an apple has 100 calories and a bag of goldfish crackers has 100 calories. Which one is better for you? Just think about that for a second. It's really not about calories. It's about what's in it. What are the nutrients that you are going to consume that are going to help your body? Help your body to heal. That's what we're after, right? Help your body to feel better, gain more energy, lose the stubborn weight. So if you eat the 100 pack of goldfish crackers, you're not getting any nutrients into your body. Those are empty calories. But if you eat the apple that is 100 calories, although it may have some sugar in it, right? Because apples can tend to be sweet. You also are getting fiber in there. You're getting nutrients. You know, the vitamins and minerals that are inside of an apple are going to feed your body. It's going to feed your body the nutrients that it needs to be able to do what you need it to do. Whereas the goldfish crackers are not. So with that being said, they're saying 100 calories. And years ago, everyone would have been like, wow, only 100 calories. We can do this. We'll just have 2 tablespoons because you see the serving size. Oops, sorry. Serving size says 2 tablespoons. So you would just measure your 2 tablespoons, put it on your plate, and you only had 100 calories. But here is the important thing. Let's see if I could do this. Okay. Here we go. So if you look closely, the total sugars for those 2 tablespoons, total sugar grams are 15 grams of sugar. They added 15 grams of extra sugar into that syrup. So remember, 4 grams is 1 teaspoon. Okay, keep that in mind. So this syrup is an added 15 grams of sugar. So that's the first thing. Second thing, what's the first ingredient? Corn syrup. Okay, ingredients. First ingredient, corn syrup. Second ingredient, high fructose corn syrup. Let me just get rid of this so you can see that better. First ingredient is corn syrup. Second ingredient is high fructose corn syrup. This is loaded with sugar. And then there's a bunch of other stuff in there that we did touch on the natural flavors. So that's something that's really important also. When you are buying a product, you do not want to consume anything that has natural flavors in it. A lot of times, that's another like gimmick that the food industry does. They'll put all natural flavors. Well, natural flavor is code word for putting up to 100 ingredients without disclosing what's in it. So something that you want to keep in mind when we are trying to heal our body, it's really important that we know what we are consuming, because 100 different ingredients, even if it says organic, they try to get you there too. If it says organic natural flavors, it still can be up to 100 different ingredients that we have no idea what's in it. So please keep that in mind. So Ancient Mama, pancake syrup, that's a no-go. Please don't feed this to your family. There are other alternatives. You can do a raw maple syrup just as good. And all it has is maple syrup in it. And I love to do the raw one. And you can get that at Trader Joe's. So that is your pancake syrup. The next item is, and I spoke a little bit about this because, so I did not grow up eating any vegetables, and neither did my husband. So my mom was like, oh, you guys are made for each other. But we did have to change our diet because we were both sick. And when we changed our diet and started incorporating vegetables, we decided that we were going to do a salad before every dinner. And so my husband had a really hard time in the beginning, and he started with this one, Brianna's home style salad dressing for his salad. And this was actually the exact one that he got, this strawberry flavored one. I did do this in the very, very beginning, and I quickly moved on because then I started getting more into reading ingredients and knowing what was inside of these prepackaged items. And so I moved on, and I was just so happy that he was eating a salad and he loved this salad dressing. So he kept eating that for a while until one day he finally read the ingredients, and then he's like, what are you trying to kill me? So Brianna's salad dressing, if we look here, let's see, I'll make it big. All right. So this salad dressing has 9 grams of added sugar. So we really do not need to add sugar into our salad. If you want to have your salad to have maybe some extra sweetness in it, you can add some fruits into it. There are plenty of salads that you can, it really tastes good if you'll have some like diced up strawberries or other fruit, apples. So you don't need to have a salad dressing that's adding sugar in it. You can add your own natural sugar by adding fruits to it. So remember, 4 grams equals 1 teaspoon. So Brianna's, and there's plenty of other salad dressings that are even worse than this. I chose this one because this is what my husband was eating for so long. But look at your salad dressing labels because a lot of them do add sugar. Okay, let's see. What is there? Oh, I guess we go back to this. Oh, here it is. The ingredient list down here. Okay, first ingredient is cane sugar. All right, so it is loaded with sugar. And then the other thing was it does have canola oil. And we touched on this a little bit also. When you are trying to heal your body, you do not want to consume any seed oils. You should only be eating olive oil, avocado oil, or coconut oil, and even tallow. But you don't want to have vegetable oils or canola oil, safflower oil, soybean oil. Those you do not want to consume. Stick to olive, avocado, coconut oils. So if you do this, you're going to see that a lot of the things that you're buying are not going to be something that you're going to continue to purchase. So start reading your labels. Remember, olive, avocado, coconut oils are good. Any other kind of oil, not good. Even if it says organic, don't let them fool you. And then we're gonna do one more because I was really blown away with this. This is Mott's applesauce. How many of you put this in your children's lunchbox? How many of you grew up eating this, right? I think every household had Mott's applesauce in their house. So let's look, because I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, so we have 22 grams of sugar. 22. The added sugar, 13 grams of added sugar. Like, there is absolutely no need to add sugar into anything with apples. I made a recipe of healthy cookies, and I actually used an all-natural applesauce as a sweetener. There's no need to put in any extra sugar into anything with apples. It's already sweet. So 13 grams of added sugar into the Mott's applesauce I was blown away. But this is where it gets worse. Look at the ingredients. Okay, first ingredient, apples, yes. But look at the second ingredient, high fructose corn syrup. Please do not give this to your children. This is crazy. This is where my mind was blown. Why are they putting high fructose corn syrup into an apple sauce? Like, I mean, first of all, high fructose corn syrup doesn't belong in anything, but apples are already sweet. Why? I really can't understand this. It just goes back to they're trying to make money. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm just gonna leave it at that. We can have more discussions on our Facebook group about this, because it really irks me. It really does. But I wanted to show you guys those examples so you can actually see what's really going on, how to read the labels, because that is so important. But the good news is that we don't have to give up flavor. We don't have to give up our desserts that we enjoy. It's okay to have a dessert, but you got to know what's in it. And the best way to do that is to make it yourself. Okay, so let's talk about some swaps that we can do. So if we are making our own desserts, or if we are buying something packaged, there are a few, very few, but there are a few brands that are starting to cater more to people that are health conscious and are aware of what's being put into the mainstream food items. So instead of refined sugar, we can use something like monk fruit. We can use stevia, allulose, some people like. If we're baking, let's substitute, as I just said, with unsweetened applesauce. And that's what I use for the cookies that I demonstrated. You can use mashed bananas, which I also use, or you can use dates, like date paste or anything with dates, especially if you're doing it yourself. Try fruit-based desserts like apples with cinnamon, so good. Cinnamon actually helps control your blood sugar, especially, it's called Ceylon cinnamon. It's Ceylon. That's a specific type of cinnamon, and that helps to control your blood sugar so that your blood sugar stays nice and level. So apples with cinnamon is a great idea, especially if you're eating the skin of the apple, because the skin of the apple is where the fiber is. And as I said, apples are normally sweet, they're naturally sweet. And so if you're eating the skin, that's gonna help to slow down that sugar spike. And then if you're adding cinnamon, that's another step. So these are good alternatives. Chia seeds, excellent. So you can do like a chia seed pudding. You can add them to smoothies. You can make your own smoothies. I love to make smoothies and then freeze them. And then in the summertime, I like to, enjoy it as a nice dessert, like an ice pop. Also, dark chocolate, very, very good instead of a milk chocolate or, a Kit Kat or something like that. Dark chocolate, I love dark chocolate with almonds. So the almonds are, it's going to slow down the sugar spike because of the fiber that it has. Well, the fat, not the fiber, sorry, the fat. So instead of soda, there's a lot of people that they're like, I can't do without my soda, but you can. You can do sparkling water with lemon. You can do sparkling water with fruit. You can just muddle it in there. You can also put a flavored electrolytes into your sparkling water. It is so good. I love, I use it's a tropical flavor from Dr. Berg. His electrolytes are, oh my gosh, so good. So his tropical flavor, and then I put a pinch of sea salt, the Celtic sea salt, into the sparkling water. It is delicious. I also do it with regular water, but with if you like want like that soda-y taste, do it with the sparkling water, and it's really, really, really good. Let's talk coffee creamers. Okay, so many coffee creamers have high fructose corn syrup, so much sugar in it. And so a lot of them are really not great options. What you can do is unsweetened almond milk. That's a good option. Or even better, coconut milk or coconut cream. You can add a little cinnamon or vanilla extract. I was telling the group that my daughter now uses coconut milk with vanilla extract into her coffee, and she says it's delicious. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I can't really tell you, but there are definitely other alternatives. You just have to experiment until you find what you like, and then just stick with that. But trying to get away from the milk and sugar or the coffee creamers, you definitely want to do that. And then for snacks, snacks is a big thing. A lot of people, especially in the beginning when they're first starting their journey, feel like they're never going to be able to give up their snacks. Let me tell you, that's not true. You will be able to give them up. Maybe not in the very beginning, but in time you will. So in the beginning, when you still do need to have some snacks, make your own trail mix. So instead of doing, okay, this is a big thing. I should have put this on the list also so we can look at ingredients. But trail mix, that's also loaded with sugar. So you really have to be careful with that. It's an item that we think they're all healthy, but that not all are healthy. They're not all made the same. The best thing that you can do is make your own. So you can add some nuts, some seeds, some unsweetened coconut flakes in there, even a little bit of dark chocolate. That's going to be yummy. That's going to be a really nice dessert. So try that. Replace your granola bars. So what I just described also can be made into granola bars. You can also make your own homemade energy bites. I love energy bites. You can do some roasted chickpeas. I actually just saw a recipe where they roasted the chickpeas and then they drizzled dark chocolate on it, put it in the fridge, and it looked really good. I haven't tried it. I'm not a chickpea person, but I'm gonna try that recipe. But they did roasted chickpeas with drizzled chocolate, and it looked really good. Dark chocolate though, remember. For breakfast, you want to swap out your sugary cereals. You want to stick to something that's savory for breakfast. You don't want to do sweet breakfasts like cereals and bakery items, croissants, things like that, danishes. You don't want to do that for breakfast. You want to stick to a savory breakfast. So I always say eggs, avocado that's an excellent breakfast. That's like the best breakfast that you can have is eggs, avocado, and maybe some protein. Like a piece of meat on the side. You can also do Greek yogurt. You can put some nuts and seeds into that. And with your yogurt, if you feel like you need a little sweetness, do blueberries or blackberries. They're very low in the glycemic index, and they're great for pairing with yogurt. So you can try some blueberries or blackberries with your yogurt. That's also a great option. But I really love the eggs and avocado because it's gonna keep you full for so long. So that's a great alternative. And then you wanna make your meal planning simple. So you wanna create balanced sugar-free meals. And it does not have to be complicated at all. There are many, many ways that you can meal plan. So you can chop up all your vegetables over the weekend or whatever day you have off. Chop up all the vegetables that you're gonna use for the week and then put them in mason jars and put them in the fridge. I do that with my garlic, my onions, because in the beginning, when I first started my journey, I was every night I'm like chopping up onions and garlic. So dinner would take me so long to cook because I had a lot of prepping to do. Then I got smart and I took like an hour and I would just chop up everything over the weekend or whatever day you have off. But I did it over the weekend. I would chop everything up. So I had a mason jar of onions, a mason jar of garlic. I had cilantro. I had my scallions because I love scallions. So I would chop that up and put it in the mason jar, and that's what I would have for the week. So even my cheese, because I buy my cheese in a block, so I would chop that up and put it in the mason jar. And then when I'm making my salads or prepping, making dinner, I have everything already done. So it's just like grab. You can do that also with snacks. Have your snacks prepackaged. So all you do is grab and go. Boil a bunch of eggs and then put them in a mason jar. And then all you have to do is grab it, grab and go. It makes it so, so easy. Super easy. One thing that we did discuss when we talked about this part is that I get my cheese from a farm and I get it in a block. And then we went on to where to buy food from. And so I'll leave you with this. I love purchasing from a local-ish farm. They're in another state from me, but there were people on the live that lived in different states. And they got back to me the following day and said that they were able to find farms closer to them that would deliver to them. So my farm delivers to my area and then I have to go to them and pick it up. Everyone that ordered within, I don't know what radius it is, we go to this specific spot where they park and we all go pick up our boxes from there. And I order my meats from them, cheese, eggs, milk, kefir, yogurt, everything comes from them. So look into a farm that's close to you that you can probably order from and they may deliver or you pick up from a certain location. But that's a really, really good option. And that also saves me time because I'm not running to the supermarket all the time or to Trader Joe's trying to get stuff. I get almost everything from them, and then I may have to go to Trader Joe's like once a month or something to get whatever I can't get from them. So it's a really good option to get good quality food and to save time. And then when you are preparing your food, remember that you want fat, fiber, and protein at each meal. So you want to do a half a plate of your vegetables, which is your fiber, and then a quarter of protein, a quarter of the plate of protein, and a quarter of the plate a healthy fat. So your vegetables can be your broccoli, your spinach, peppers, whatever kind of vegetable you are eating. Your protein is going to be your fish, your ground beef, your chicken, tofu. That's going to be a quarter of the plate. And then the other quarter is going to be your carbs. So avocado, sweet potatoes, things like that can be your fats. And then if you need, dessert, you can do fruits or you can do the nuts and seeds with maybe some dark chocolate. You can make your own. I make a really, really good chocolate mousse and I make it with monk fruit. I make it with heavy whipping cream, which I also get from the farm. So I make it with heavy whipping cream, monk fruit, and cocoa powder. And it's so good, really good. It's, oh my gosh, thick, really, really good. And it's so easy to make. And then when you go shopping, if you do have to go to a grocery store, just remember that you want to stick to the perimeter of the store. That's where you get your fresh produce, your proteins, your dairy. You want to avoid the middle of the store. That's where they have all the prepackaged items. And then sometimes we do have to buy something that's prepackaged for whatever reason, but remember, read the label. That's why I wanted to go over the labels because sometimes we do have to purchase those things. Read the label. look at how many grams of sugar they're adding to that, and look to see what are your first 3 ingredients. And make sure there's no high fructose corn syrup, and there are no natural flavors in that item. Please, those are the 2 things I want you to look out for. Okay. Make a list ahead of time when you go to the grocery store so that you're not doing that impulse buying, right? Where you're just walking up and down the aisles like, oh, this, especially when you're hungry. When you're hungry, that's the worst time to shop. But you're walking up and down the aisles like, oh, this looks good. Oh, that looks good. Don't do that. Make a list, stick to your list. You're going to save money also when you do that, because you're not going to buy those impulse things that you do not need to be eating. So we talked about, washing and chopping up your vegetables in advance. That's really gonna help you. I also like, there's certain foods that I like to make in batches, and then I will put them in mason jars per serving. And then I freeze it. I put it in my deep freezer. And then on nights when I don't feel like cooking, I just take it out of the deep freezer, warm it up, and there I go. Especially soups or anything that's a stew, anything that has sauce, really good to just pop in the deep freezer and then take it out, warm it up, and you have a complete meal ready in just a few minutes. So, and you're cooking anyway. So like if I'm gonna cook on Saturday and I want soup, I'm gonna make a big batch of soup and then I'm going to freeze the rest, right? So I'm not doing anything extra. As far as timing goes, right? It's not extra time because I'm making it anyway for dinner, but I'm gonna make more of it so that I can freeze it and then I can have it for later. That's also good to do with any kind of sauces that you're making. If you're making any, like I like to make a chicken with vegetables in a Asian sauce. When I make that, I'll make a lot of it and then I freeze it. And it's actually really good when you warm it up. Also, when you're warming things up, when they're sitting after you make them, it's like the flavor becomes more. It's like really good after you warm it up. So that's another time-saving trick that you can do so that you can eat healthier every day, because it's, like as I said in the beginning, I was taking like 2 hours to make dinner, and that just was not sustainable. But if you have everything prepared in advance, it is so much easier, so much faster, and it's sustainable. This is something that you can do for the rest of your life. And then, so these are all the things that we spoke about. We also then went into a cooking demonstration, and let's see, I make cookies live. Well, I prepare the batter and then I put them in the oven, but I have the cookie here. This is the cookie that I made, and it was made with oats, some dark chocolate chips, bananas, applesauce. So those were that's like the sugar. And then there's some cinnamon in there and some vanilla extract. And this is what it looked like when it was done. And oats, obviously, you can see that, right? And oats, and this is the cookie. So they're really good. I'm gonna have one later. But I wanted to show you that that's what we ended up doing. And that was fun too. That was really fun. I like doing that. So I just want to talk to you a moment, if you will allow me. I wanted to share my experience with you guys. I was a sugar addict, although I didn't know it. I didn't realize that what I was eating was so bad for me. The Bible says, my people will perish for lack of knowledge. And that's exactly what was happening to me. By the time I got to the doctor, I was already in a state of disease and I was addicted to sugar. So I had thyroid disease, as I had mentioned before, and I also had insulin resistance. And that's what I ended up being diagnosed with. But until I got to the doctor, I didn't know what was happening. And what I was experiencing extreme fatigue, I was gaining weight daily. Like every day I got on the scale and I was a few ounces more. Nothing had changed. I was still eating the same. My activity level was the same, although it was like almost nothing, but nothing had changed and I was still gaining weight. I thought that I was doing okay with my diet. So what I did was I had, before I got to the doctor, I was cutting out ice cream, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm not eating ice cream every day the way I was, maybe just 3 times a week now, right? So I'm like, I'm doing good. I'm not eating the ice cream every day. And I was eating chocolate covered almonds. That was my snack and my dessert. So I'm like, almonds, it's good. But what happened was I was not looking at the ingredients of the chocolate covered almonds that I was buying. And they were milk chocolate, not dark chocolate. And I was getting them from like CVS or something. So I need to go back and read the ingredients because I'm sure they're terrible. I'm sure of it now. But at the time, I didn't know that even though it was almonds, chocolate almonds, I'm like, how bad can that be? I did not know that there can be so many other ingredients in that item that was hurting my body, right? And so by the time I got to the doctor, I was already in a state of disease. I was way, way, way overweight. And that's what started this whole journey. That's what led me to create a powerful program that's designed to change lives. That is my heart's desire. You have the potential to earn back years of your life. This program is this program is it's designed to help you lose weight, feel energized, get rid of inflammation, sleep better, and so much more. It's really designed to start to heal your body. And that's what we all need, because when we gain weight, it's because something is wrong inside our body. Something needs healing. And that's why we end up gaining weight. And so if you can have 6 weeks of small group coaching geared specifically towards your needs with some one-on-one coaching also, what do you think would happen in your life? How do you think that would change your life? So I'm offering you this program for the price of one daily Starbucks coffee, which we figured out is about $12 to $15 for a large Frappuccino from Starbucks. So just one Starbucks coffee per day is what it is. And this is just a teeny tiny piece of what I teach, what I've been sharing during this workshop. But I have people in my program that have lost up to 80 pounds, the healthy weight, and they didn't lose it in 6 weeks. It did take time, but in 6 weeks, you will learn what you need to do. People have come off their diabetes medication, they've gained energy, and everyone said that their quality of life is better with the program. And so we did an exercise yesterday that I started off with, and I had everyone envision their sugar-free life. And when you do that, I want you guys to go back to day one, and I really want you to work on that exercise, because that feeling that you feel is possible and so much more. I have a 6-week program that is completely done for you. It takes all the guesswork out and you just follow a simple plan, right? So again, you're going to get 6 coaching calls. You're going to get 2 one-on-one calls so that we can get specific on your needs. You have an accountability partner with me. You get weekly workbooks, nutrition and meal guidance. You learn the process of intermittent fasting. And we tailor it specifically for you, because intermittent fasting can be different for everyone. What works for me may not work for you, and vice versa. So we have to make sure that we tailor it specifically for you. We go over movement and exercise, mindset, stress management, and so much more. So I am offering right now for this cohort, I'm offering this program for just $497. That's for 6 weeks. It's a 6-week group coaching program. And I want to help you guys feel better. That is my heart's desire. I don't want you guys to feel like you're under pressure. You know, you can think it over, but I do want you to make a decision. I want you to make a decision. I want you to decide either this program is not for you or this program is something that can help you. And if you need help making that decision, please contact me. We can talk over the phone. We can talk more about the program. We can get more in depth. But I want you to really make a decision because this could be the start of a great life, because that's what happened to me. It's something that can really, really transform your life because you're going to have the knowledge and the accountability to help you get through it. And so if you have any questions, you can please put them in a Facebook group. It's Revitalize Your Metabolism. You can reach out to me via DM. You can send me an email, whatever you are most comfortable with. But I don't want you to just put this to the side. I want you to really think about it and decide if this is for you or it isn't for you. One way or another, I want you to make a decision because again, this can be the start of something incredible for your life. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I am so sorry that I forgot to record the first one. I hope this is of value to you. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I hope to speak to you soon. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. And I really hope that you learned something from it. If you wouldn't mind, just pop into our Facebook group and put something that you learned during this video. I would love to know what it is. I'll talk to you soon, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the Facebook group. Take care. Bye.